Okay. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. I think it says that I'm live. So I am going to decorate this hutch for spring, even though we're right now getting snow. We're supposed to have 1 to 3 inches. I'm gonna wait a few more seconds here before I like fully get into this. Okay, it looks like we're working. Okay, so I'm going to decorate this is the hutch in the living room that I share all the time. I'm gonna decorate it for spring because even though we're supposed to get like 3 inches of snow here, it just started. I'm just looking outside. So it's kind of a gloomy day, but it's lit enough here. I think that you guys can see it. I'm over it. I'm ready for spring. So I'm gonna start putting some spring things in here. Most of the things are thrifted. I will just kind of share what they are. Some of the things you've seen before, some of them are newer. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through that. I did leave links in the description. I don't think you can see those now, but once I'm done going live, then you'll be able to see them. But some of the things I made, so that I gave links on how I made them, or the peonies that I'm gonna share, the vintage peonies. I have a link for those in the description as well. So all of that will be available when I'm off of here. So whenever you're decorating a new space for a new holiday, a new season, always start with a blank slate. This is a hutch my mom refinished when we were little. It's like one of my favorite things ever. That's Hilly. You're gonna hear her toy. She's got her toy and she's occupied. So if you hear that, that's her. So this is sometimes when I'm decorating for a new season or this is where I like to start because it's small. So instead of getting overwhelmed with an entire room that you think you have to do, just start with a small area, a mantle, a shelf, a hutch, something like that. So it's just small and not so overwhelming. So I've already put these, I left the corbels up there. They're just gonna be a backdrop. And then I put these pots here. These were at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. I don't know if they still have them. They were really inexpensive, especially with the 40% off. I think the little ones were like $2. And there are some black ones too that I will add inside here that you'll see. But so those were a Hobby Lobby find. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I made these last year, these botanicals, and I am just gonna set these right up here on the back of the shelf. They are super thin frames. I made them look like an aged brass. Again, I have the link to how I did this. You guys, so inexpensive. Walmart. Walmart is where you'll find the frames you need. I have all of that though inside the post where you can get all this. It's so easy to make. So last year I hung them on a wall, and this year I'm gonna put them as a backdrop here. Maybe. Why is that not stay? So you can obviously, if you want to, put like a little nail or something in there, but I'm going to have things in front of it. But you guys, botanicals, they're so pretty. I have found a few books that I've sold in my online shop for botanical prints that you can take out of books. And, but they're expensive. And so this is so easy. It's an inexpensive way to get the look for a lot less, but it gives you the exact look. Okay, I'm going to put this heavy mirror right down here. You know what? I'm just gonna wait for that right now. Okay, let's finish up here. The next thing I'm going to add is this little tiered, I just made this. We just made this, Matt helped me. And there's a link to that up above or in the description. Easy. Those were all thrifted molds that I found, 3 different sizes. We used wood pegs in between them. And then I just had a piece of like a wood stand out in the garage. So that's what we used. These vintage peonies, you guys, I have shared these every year. I share them. Let me grab some more just so you can kind of see the different colors. Where did they all go? They are unbelievable. They are inexpensive. They look great. They come in a ton of colors. I'm just gonna kind of show you. Look at these. So I think I got the green bunch, the peach bunch, and the pink bunch. Maybe I got a white, like a cream bunch too. But they come all together like this. There'll be more color. These are a few of the different ones together, but they'll come together on one big stem, and then I just clip them off. But I'm just gonna grab like 3 of these here. I'm gonna set these down. So the stems are wired, which I love. So I'm just going to fold these stems up and kind of smush them together so they're smaller, but yet I still have the long stem so I can use them. And I'm just gonna put these 3 right down here. So that way you can, I didn't have to fill it. Like I don't need to buy 4 bunches just to fill a little thing. I just want the look that it's full. You can't see behind there, so don't put anything behind there. You could add more here, but I just didn't want it so full. So I'm just adding a few of them in there. And then these are actually on my shop page. I love them. So I'm just gonna use them here. These are just some turquoise and green old bottles that I have. These are just so pretty. The color is perfect for spring. So I'm just gonna add those there. And then one of my favorite things, I actually, whenever I share him, he is like, everybody asks where I got him. I did find him at a thrift store, but I can find a link, I think, for him. So if that's something you're looking for, let me know. I did not add him, a link to him, but he stays up all year. I had him up at Christmas. I had I think it was pine cones or something in here. Spring, obviously, it's a rabbit, so he is going right up there. And then, if you saw my reels, I made this out of an old lamp base. This was like a candle, it was like a candle light thing, the top of it, and then I just added some moss here and then some dried flowers, but this is the highlight. This was on a lamp. I had to, it's like a brass piece. So I made that, and I'm just gonna set that right up here. That link on how I did that is up there. You guys, if you are not looking at your lamp section in your thrift stores, you're missing out. I have done, I think the other 2 are downstairs. I have done so many projects with just lamp bases alone. Check the lamp base section at your local thrift stores. Okay, so I'm gonna set that there. And then I am going to, here it is. So this is one of those pots up here from Hobby Lobby. It's the black color. I'm just going to flip it over and I'm gonna use it as a riser. And then this is just a frog, floral frog, old photos. So it was too low. Can you guys see that there? It was too low to just sit like that. So I wanted to bring it up on something. So a pot gives the look of like spring, but you don't have to just put flowers in it. Use them in different ways. And I'll show you how I'm gonna use it in a different way down here. And then old photos, and now it's lifted and it kind of goes with that little area up there. Okay, what am I doing now? Speaking of risers, I shared this. This was in my thrifting haul last week. I think was it last week? I can't remember. But whenever I find things like this, it's got feet on it. I've never had a round one like this. It's the perfect riser, So that's gonna go right here. And by riser, I guess I should say what I mean. Sometimes on shelves, you just need to lift something. Or like we have the glass cabinets in our dining room. I need to sometimes lift things because you can't see, because once you shut the doors, you can't see anything. So you just need something to lift things. And so I'm always looking for different ideas for risers. I'll show you another. This little wood box, I shared this. It did not look like this when I bought it. But it's just a lidded wood box, but it's the perfect riser. I mean, obviously you can store things in here too, but then you can set things on top if you need something to, be lifted on the back of a shelf. Are you checking everything out? Lily's over here checking all my stuff out. So this was also a thrift store find from this week. I shared this. So if you guys saw my live, there was a yellow chick and some yellow, I don't even know, underneath in this little wire cage, but I love the dainty wire cage. So I picked up the nest at the thrift store, and then I just added some moss at the bottom and a piece of just brown craft paper down here just to kind of hold some of this moss so it didn't make a mess. And then I'm just gonna set that right here. And then I love like the black and white photos, black frame. I kind of talked about that this week in my live. So I'm gonna set that there. That's also in my shop. And then the lighter colored beads. I'm gonna just add those right around this piece just to kind of lighten it up. Again, I can't remember. These beads came out of, was it the Decor Steals box? But I think for like winter. But you can use it all year round. It does not have to be Christmas or winter. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna add is this thing. You guys. So Matt's family, on Matt's side of his family, he met his mom this week and they were going through some things. And so Matt there were a box of things that Matt went and picked up. And this was one of the things in there. I have used my salve to make it look a lot better. It was just dusty, but the shape kind of looks like a flower to me. You guys, it's just an old dustpan, but can we just talk about the color green? Oh my gosh. And then the shape, it's like the most perfect vintage dustpan. I just love this thing. So that is going to, and things like this that are thin like that are perfect to go kind of in the back of a shelf. They kind of decorate it, but yet they don't take up a lot of space, which is important. Then you can kind of build in front of there. The next thing I'm gonna add is, I shared this with you guys. I found this at a thrift store recently. I don't think it's vintage or anything. It's just, but again, the green color, of course I filled it with Scrabble tiles and it opens, the lid hinges this way, but I kind of want to see this design. So I'm going to kind of set it a little bit sideways, right there. And then, where did it go, Hilly? Oh, here they are. Okay. So here are two more of those pots that I have. This was a thrift store find. Always look for these. I know thrift stores are getting expensive, but these usually are inexpensive. But I put two of these pots together. I'm gonna lay them down here. I'm gonna kind of move this over. And I am going to, it's just a faux plant. I'm going to lay this like it fell over. Right here. I might have to add like a little piece of tape to keep that in there, but I just wanted the greenery to kind of spill over. So I will put a little piece of tape to hold that back, so that'll hold back a little bit. But you don't just have to have a pot and like throw it on a plant in it and be done. You know, use them as a riser, have them laying down. You could have Scrabble tiles spilling out of them or rocks spilling out of them or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be just like a pot with a plant, if that makes sense. Okay, down here, this is another mirror that Matt brought home. And I'm kind of shoving it up and underneath. You can't see the full thing, but it's a good size again to kind of fill the back of that shelf. And then I'm going to add some more, whoops. Again, this was thrifted. Okay, I was like, is this it is stamped on the bottom. This was a thrifted pot. Did not like the pot it came in, but I liked the greenery, so nobody will know. So it's perfect for this. I'm gonna set this right over here. Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, and then a plant mister is perfect for spring and summer, and these are Scrabble tiles from like a travel game, so I just put those in there. I'm just gonna set that there. And then I'm going to add this big bird's nest, or nest, it's not, I mean, and inside that bird's nest, where did I set it? Yep. So these are, oh, what am I going to say? What do I want to say? Like sea glass. When we go on our favorite, one of our favorite places, we are always searching for sea glass on the beach and stuff. And so this is from these, this is just a collection. And then like heart rocks and things, it's just a collection of those. So I'm just going to, Hilly thinks that's something interesting. So I'm just going to fill the nest with those. Again, this could be, you could fill a nest with old game pieces, Scrabble tiles. You could do succulents. You could do little plants or greenery. Obviously, Easter eggs or like, you know, speckled eggs would be cute too. But this I will keep out now all summer long. And then hopefully we can add to it this year. Okay, what's next? Another pot from the thrift store. I will always pick up these white pots. This is a Hager pot. Again, this was a thrift store find. And it just fits perfectly in there. It's actually, it's a lot smaller than this pot is, but the leaves, they kind of sit on there right, so it looks like it fits. And I just had 3 of these on my shop page. They all 3 sold, but anytime like just the white, because you can use them all year and just kind of change what's in them for the seasons. And then it's just not a ton of redecorating all the time for every season. I recently found a green large floral frog, and this little thing came with the peonies. It's part of the peonies that comes. So I just, again, I'm gonna fold this up because I don't wanna ruin the length of the stem, because I'll use it in somewhere else different that I'll need a taller stem, so I don't wanna cut them off. But I just kind of bend them lower, and then I can stick this. I need to get this one even lower. But you can then just stick these. I mean, you could fill this with these, with the peonies and all of that all over here, and just make it a really full, like, flower arrangement. So I'm gonna set that down right here. I might actually add some peonies to that, the other holes that are there. And then this is a clock that Matt brought home in the box too. I love old clocks. I love old clocks. So this little guy, he's actually a big guy, is gonna go right there. And that's it, right? Yes, that's it. Quick and easy. You don't have to go to the thrift stores, but shop your house first. See how you can rearrange things. And when I say that, when I say shop your home first, you know, like these white containers, if you had them out for winter and spring, or sorry, like Christmas and spring, all you have to do is throw a different faux plant in it to make it look spring or summer. It's kind of like this jar, you know, throw something different in it. And just moving things around in your home will make it just fresh for the seasons, for the new season. Like this thing too, just put some greenery in it or some faux flowers in it. And then it makes it kind of more feel like spring and just fresher. But head to your thrift stores. Head to your thrift stores, because you can find so many good things. You just have to keep an open mind and keep going. Okay, I'm trying to see if, somebody's getting snow. Washington's getting snow. Are there any questions I can answer? Let me know. Anybody else just over this winter? We're just ready for spring. Judy, I need you to come to Indiana and arrange my shelves. It's so much fun. But so I will be completely honest with you. I wanted to do this today. And so I started it kind of this morning, and then I was not feeling it. I didn't like anything. And so I walked away. I went to my computer for an hour, and then I came back up and I was able to finish it. So if you're not, don't rush it. Walk away from it. If you rush it, you're going to hate it. So make sure you walk away from it, because otherwise it's not fun at all. Oh, you're welcome, Janet. You do not have to spend a lot of money to decorate your home. Gina, I found that bunny, I can't remember if it was last year or a couple years ago. I can't remember. Barb, that's what I'm hoping. I'm decorating now for spring, because after this, we're not going to get any more snow. That's just how it has to happen. Nancy, I can find a link for the bunny. He was a lucky find at the thrift store. That bunny, he is so cool. The flowers, I left a link to the flowers, Donna. Once I'm off here, you'll be able to see the link. They're amazing. Some faux flowers are not amazing. These are amazing. And they come in all kinds of colors. So definitely whatever your style or kind of color is, you will find it. I mean, purples, blues, greens, peach, pinks, different shades of pinks, whites, all of that. Lincoln, Nebraska, hello. I feel like we're neighbors. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go down to the bottom here just to make sure there's no other questions or anything else I can answer. Oh, Janet, thank you. I think it's just, oh, in California, it's even cold with winds. Oh no. It's all about balance. Yes, it is. Okay, I think. Connie, I know, listen, I waited for long enough. I'm just over it. So I'm hoping this helps. I'm not going to flip this over because you guys are like up on a stand and stuff, but completely snow coming down as I'm doing this, bringing out the flowers and the pots and all of that. But so after today, can't snow anymore. It's got to get warmer and no more snow. Okay, I think that's everything. I think I got through everybody. I would love if this was helpful, let me know. Take a photo of something that you decorated, a shelf you decorated, a hutch you decorated, a mantle you decorated. I know somebody asked me, I can't remember if it was here or Instagram, about a mantle. And I will definitely kind of switch up our mantle here for spring. And I will either do a time lapse or a reel for that. But it's the same kind of deal here, obviously on a lot smaller scale because a mantle you don't have as much room. But yeah. I always get that question, Julie. No, I never leave these open. It will be shut. So yes, they will be shut. The only time they're opened is if I'm changing them up. Marianne, I have the instructions on those frames up there. That's all on my website, and I left a link for that in the description as well. So again, as soon as I get off here and stop this live, all of those links should show up in the description. Yes, you can do all this. You're young and energetic. But it didn't take me long. And it's all stuff, well, I'm always hunting for things all the time, but it's stuff like if you have this stuff on hand, just get creative. And an ice storm, we had that, yes, or when did we have that? School was canceled. I can't even remember. Was that Tuesday, Monday? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Janet. I love the video of your kiddos out in the boat, your daughter pushing your son in it. I mean, that video to a T that just describes our kids. Landon just sitting in there waiting for somebody to push him out there because, oh my gosh, they'll kill me if I keep going, but that is just a yes. Yep, that's just how they are. Okay, Lucy, I'm glad that it's helpful. Veronica, my fringe? Do you mean I did get my hair cut last week. Yes. So you definitely, when you're decorating shelves and things, I should just show, I shouldn't say less is always better. And if you can, think of things in terms of odd numbers. So in groupings of 3. Now, granted, I have a pot here, I have this frog, I have the bunny, and I have this, right? So technically it's 4 things, but this is counted as 1, right? So I put this together to be 1 thing. You want some space in your, on your shelves or on your mantle or where in your rooms as well, for the eye to kind of breathe a little bit, like just to, when you get too much stuff together, it's just, you automatically, like I do this because you automatically feel it's cluttered, it's overwhelming. Like even when you're looking at it, it's just, you can't even tell what's on there because there's just so much stuff. So you definitely don't want to stuff to stuff. And here's an organization tip. So whenever I do this, if it's Christmas, it's spring, whatever it is, I have a box here that as I'm taking things off, if I'm not really loving them or I know I'm not going to put them up again, it goes in the box. Like I get rid of it. Do not keep things just to keep things. Do not keep things just because last year you may have decorated with them, but as you're taking them off the shelf, you don't really love it. Get rid of it. Only keep the things that you really love, that you're really going to use, that you're really going to decorate with. But definitely don't stuff. Don't stuff too much stuff on your shelves because it just becomes overwhelming there then. So Carolyn, yeah, just think less stuff and just like more breathing room. And then as you're putting things together try to do it in odd numbers. That helps too. What? Okay. Veronica, do you close the doors to look at the space you have visually and then decorate? So no, I don't do that. What I do, especially with this, is I make sure the doors are open and then I make sure everything's taken off first. Because here's what's happened before. So let's just say I had this in here through winter, right? And I had, I don't know, pine cones in it or whatever. And so when I'm coming in here to decorate it for spring, I leave this up here, but I take the pine cones out. And let's just say I had the bunny up here, and I had pine cones in there. And so I leave them in there, but I take the pine cones out. So those two things stay in there. And let's just say the green jar is there and I had pine cones just because that's easy. I had pine cones in there, so I just leave it in there, but I take the pine cones out. So then what happens is that when I look at this, that's all, and I leave the things there, then I think I have to keep them there. Does that make sense? Like, I think I have to, like, I'm not creative. Like, it's just like, okay, that has to stay there and that has to stay there, and take everything off. And even if you are reusing these things, start new. Start all over. Just start all over with a fresh space, no matter what you're decorating. Literally, if you want to redecorate your bedroom, take everything out. I mean, you can leave the bed. Like if there's no other wall the bed can go on, leave the bed, but take everything else out and then start fresh. Same with the living room, same, all of that. Take it all out. Okay, are there any, I'm sorry, that's shaking. Are there any other questions? So then when I shut the door, so then that's just how it will be. And so even with the pots up here too, I mean, I may change my mind and I may put some peonies or something up there, but I kind of just, again, they don't all have to be stuffed with things. They don't have to, just the pots up there, you know, that kind of gives a spring vibe. Like, and another thing when you're decorating like this, so you think you've got it, if you're like me, this will probably stay mostly. That could change, like the things that are more out, but I do change things often, and it's easy to change. If you don't love it, change it, but okay. I'm a more is more girl. I love that. Barbara, what do you mean by that, more is more girl? Like you want to like fill the shelves? Is that what you mean by that? I do try to edit some, but if I love things that get put out and enjoyed, yes, definitely. Like bring them out. That's what, when people say I have too much stuff. Well, if you have too much stuff, you know, in boxes and totes somewhere that never see the light of day, do you really love that stuff? So yes, if you can bring it all out and enjoy it and decorate with it or use it or whatever it is, depending on what it is, yes, by all means. We do not live in a big house. I have smaller areas like this to decorate, which has been good because it kind of keeps my stuff down. We don't have a lot of storage. And I don't want to just store things to store things. So I'm editing all the time. I'm editing all the time. Okay. I think I got through everything. I'll stay on here for like 10 more seconds here and see if anybody has any other questions or, but again, if you do this or try a shelf or whatever, take a photo and put it in the comments and show us your spring decorating or what you're doing. Hello, Tabitha. Yeah, I just decorated this hutch for spring. We're going to get 3 inches of snow and hopefully the snow will stop and we can just go right into spring after this, right? Because I decorated for spring. So nothing else is really decorated. And I don't do a ton of spring decorating. I just kind of freshen things up here and there. When the kids were little, like I did Easter and we did St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day and all those little ones. But Barbara, yes, you love to fill a space. I do trade out for seasons, love to add greenery to finish a look, and I fiddle with things as the months go on. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I can open this. But yeah. And sometimes like doing things like this, it's just a good way for me to unplug too. Turn on your favorite music, like have fun with it. Don't make it stressful. Or listen to true crime podcasts if you're into that. I am. It's just a good way to kind of just unplug and just kind of be creative and just, Yes, Janet. Yes. Yes, you do. And yes, your daughter sounds like a lot like me. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's everything. If you guys have any questions, you're watching it on replay, let me know. I will come back and answer the questions, but for now I will sign off and enjoy the snow. And it's so cold. We had a couple like 50-degree weather days here in Iowa, and then it would go to like ice storm, and then now we've got snow and it's freezing again. So, okay, but this will help. This will help a little bit. So, okay, guys, have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will talk to you guys soon.